My people wonder they say shall never end. Right now, information reaching us is that something happened that frightens the king while they are in a council meeting. And the reason the king was frightened is because of the person involved. You know that there is someone that you might trust with your life. And when that person do some things, you might not believe it and you will be afraid. And that is exactly what they said, allegedly, that happens to the king during their council meeting. So, according to what we are hearing, they said, due to the situation of things right now in the palace over the strange disease that has been causing so much pain in the life of the people, they said elders have gathered with the king to have a meeting to know the way forward. Yes. And there is this man, they call him Olami something. Let me just call him Ola. They said this man is an elderly man, very elderly. But the man, they said the man has so much wisdom. And this man, the king sees him as a good friend and a father. And they said the man is one person that when he gives you advice, his advice is always fruitful. When you abide by his advice, you are not going to regret it. So, and they said he has been too close to the king that the king can even trust his life on the man's hand, you know. He trusted him with his life to tell you how close the relationship is. They say most times before the king holds certain meetings with the elders, that most time he used to discuss it with this elder in question, allegedly. And even after meeting, they used to sit, as in the people knows how close the man is with the king. Very close, you know. But they said something happened that shocked even the king himself. And the king was frightened because he never believed that maybe this man, I don't know, at the moment they said they were in their council meeting. While they are in that meeting, they said after discussing a particular topic, one of the agendas in their meeting, in their one of the topic of the agenda, you know. So before each topic will be concluded, they said the king usually asks for his opinion due to the fact that he's a very wise man. And whenever he gives his own opinion, people respect it a whole lot because of the level of his wisdom. So on this particular day that his opinion was asked for, you know, they said he stood up to say something. That the moment he opened his mouth, he started suffocating, as in his everything about him changed, and people were surprised. Although he's an old man, they said before you know it, the moment he opens his mouth to speak, they said blood started coming out from his mouth. You know, the red started coming out, and the people were shocked. They said the guards, they rushed him. Before they could get to him, they said the man slumped, you know. And they said even the king was shocked to this point that the king stood up from his chair. Elders also stood up in shock. They were all shocked and surprised over what is happening. And they said how close the king was with the man. They said the king have to go closer to him and started calling his name. They said the king called him up to 3 to 4 times and he did not answer. He did not responded. That was when the king sent one of the guards to hurry up and go and call the palace physician to come and check him. So they said the palace physician came without wasting time. So when he came and he examined the man and ordered that they should take him to the hospital, that the case is severe. But they said the moment they were about to take the man to the hospital, excuse me, they said he regained consciousness. He woke up immediately. And people were like, what exactly happened? What really happened? But at that moment, he could not talk because he was unconscious before that moment. And that was when they said the physician told the king and everyone that he needed rest, that nobody should ask him for that question, that all he needs right now is rest. So they said they were just looking at him. Everyone was just looking at him. And they were, when elders are in a shocking incident like this, sometimes they will not say anything, but they will be using their eyes to discuss, to ask several questions that may not be answered. That was the situation here. They said elders were just looking at each other. People were shocked. They opened their mouth. They couldn't close. People were, even the king was speechless, that he couldn't even ask question. But one thing they said, one of the elders, why the Ola, Mr. Ola, was still vomiting blood, they said one of the elders was like, could this be Arûn? Could it be that this man have betrayed the king without the king knowing it? And they said another elder interrupted the first elder, telling him that Arûn does not act in this manner. But they said that sickness is something that you cannot predict. It might come in different ways. But at this point, they said the man needed rest and they allowed him to get the rest. The only thing they did is that they called his son, who came immediately and took him to his house to go and rest. But they said when he went to his house, he was restless. The only thing he was saying is that they should take him to the king, that he has a confession to make, that he needs to speak to the king. And they said that it was raining heavily, that his son insisted that he is not going back to that palace that day, that even if he must go, he will have to wait till the next day so that he will go, because it was getting late already, according to the gist. So that was how they said the son insisted. But the next morning, when it was the next morning, they said he was disturbing them so much that he really needed to speak to the king, that have a confession to make. That was what they said he was saying. He have a confession to make. And his children were asking him, what is that confession all about? Tell us, tell us. And he said no, that he needs to speak with the king. Then when the disturbance was much on the children, they said they decided to take him to the palace to go and see the king. They said when the king saw him, the king was shocked and surprised and was asking him, are you okay? He said he's okay. And that was how they said he told the king that he has a confession to make. Then what he told the king is something that they said the king almost shed tears, because he never believed that this man could do such a thing. That will be in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching. Like I will always tell you, these are all alleged unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them. Bye for now. Love you guys.